So maybe we can start, and I will show you briefly how to use Zoom, Slack, Google Calendar, and other platforms for conference ALIFE 2021. And I expect that everyone has the basic knowledge how to use Zoom. So there are two modes for Zoom. One is webinar room, and one is like meeting room. The keynotes and some parallel talks will be in the webinar rooms, which are called in our program like lecture hall blue. And in this setup, only the host and co-host and panelists are visible and can be visible by camera and can unmute by themselves. And the participants, the attendees in the webinar, they are all muted without cameras, and only the host can switch their role in the meeting to be panelist or to unmute them. I have prepared, because sometimes it's difficult to show the print screens of the Zoom itself in Zoom meeting, then I prepared short presentation, Zoom webinar, and the slide with the print screen of the webinar. It is, as I said, similar to normal Zoom, that you can mute or unmute yourself, you can start the video or stop the video. Here, we as the host can see the number of participants, and the participants are divided into groups, either panelists, which have the special roles in the meeting, or attendees. As I said, they all are muted. Then there is the option like Q&A. So if the attendees have the question, they can send it directly during the talk or later, and the chair of the session or the host can sort the questions, and here they can be answered directly by the speaker, or the speaker or someone else from the panelists can answer and write it like in chat. Then are some pools, and there is also chat, and the chat can be between the attendees and panelists, or only to the attendees can send the message just to the panelist. And here is the button for screening, for sharing the screen. And after clicking on this, you can see the options what to share, either the presentation or some open window with the browser. It's up to you. And another button here is raise hand. It means that if the attendee wants to say something, then he or she raises the hand, and we can unmute him, and they can speak. All the presentations will be recorded, and then we will upload them to YouTube, and these talks will be available for the conference participants from other time zones. And later on, after the conference, maybe in the end of August or later, we will ask all participants if they want to share their presentation like public talk. And in this case, we will ask for the agreement, and we will have some like post-conference, and we can share the presentations with non-attendees later, but not directly after the conference. Yeah, I think that's all to this webinar mode. And if the presentation or the talks are in the meeting room, in the meeting regime, it is in principle the same, just we can see all the participants, and all of them have the same rights, just the host has more rights, like to mute some participants or tell them go away and so on. So only the host has different role, otherwise all participants are the same. And again, the chat, it's also possible to use the individual chat and sharing of the screen, recording, and you can react with some reactions during the presentation. All participants are muted upon their entry to the meeting room. And then if they want to say something, they can unmute them. But if someone enters in the middle of the talk with the microphone on, no problem, because it is automatically muted. Yeah, so this is the mode meeting. As I mentioned before, there is the option to have the breakout rooms. I don't know if some people will use it for their workshops, but it's possible to divide the participants in smaller groups very easily here. I think that's all to Zoom.
I have a question. I will send a pre-recorded talk for the Zoom meeting. So how this work? I join for the Zoom meeting and wait for the video. How is the process in that case?
Yeah, some people ask for pre-recording of the talks, but it's not mandatory. It's good for example, students. They can prepare it in advance, be more relaxed, and then they can have nice talk for the conference instead of be stressed during the live presentation. So there was this option. And we prefer the live talks. In the case that someone pre-recorded this just for the technical troubles, then he or she can have the live talk, and this pre-recorded talk is on YouTube, available for the people from other different time zones or people which are interested in more sessions, so they can watch it later. And in the case that someone pre-recorded the talk and he or she wants to use it instead of the live talk, we already uploaded all pre-recorded talks to YouTube. And then the chair can start the video from YouTube, or the speaker can do it by himself or herself, just sharing the screen. And when sharing the video, there is the option like click on share with the sound, and then the video is playing, and we recommend to mute the speaker, and you can stop the video, and then just the presentation is running instead of I don't know, static PowerPoint presentation. How to go to Zoom? Just to know these 3 links to red, green, and blue lecture halls, which are available on the conference page, or in calendar, or in Slack.